So we're in Bella, Canada today, where we left off in our round the world trip. We're going to complete this round the world trip by hook or by crook, and so we're going to fly from Bella today into the North Rocky Mountains region, orbix wise. We're going to go to Bonners Ferry 65S. Dialing in some nose up trim for the takeoff, as well as 10 degrees of flap. Pretty much into wind, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem with keeping it straight. So that cloud's pretty darn thick. I've dialed in 10,000 now as the target altitude. We're just about coming out the top of the cloud now. I hope 9,800 feet. We might have to go 10.5, 11. We've got GPS terrain clearance screen there, so that's kind of helpful. And that's 10,000 feet. Let's put it to 11. See if we can get on top of this. So it's going to be hard to navigate visually if we continue to have this view. Oh, that's some nice kind of mountainous terrain. Got some peaks just poking up over there. Well, the weather's not holding up great. We're still at 11,000 feet and we're heading for some pretty murky looking clouds. We can't really descend because we've got terrain. We could go around those clouds. I think that's what I'm going to try and do actually. So we're just going to head over that way. You know, we do want to be heading south east, not just towards east. What can I tell you about what's been going on? We've got everything is now in P3D, prepared version 4.2. All the orbix software is installed that we're going to need on this particular jaunt. Still using the Air Manager panel, of course. The big change is we've got the side views and we've dumped the virtual cockpit, which you might have seen if you followed along some of my recent videos. So we've got a much better view out of the windows. Now this is the Reality XP GNS 530 version 2. Version 1, you'll recall I was using an FSX. That's not compatible with prepared, so I had to buy version 2. I was holding off buying that, but I fell foul of something that I wasn't expecting, and this is really going to be the first proper negative comment about the Twin Otter Extended. Now that works fine in prepared version 4, so I have no quibbles with that, but what I've discovered is when you ditch the virtual cockpit, the GPS doesn't work. Basically it doesn't work at all. That's the 2D GPS. If you pop it up you can see it, but the buttons don't work even if you click them with the mouse. Most of the buttons don't actually work, and I've established basically you need to have a virtual cockpit showing for the GPS functionality. I did query this with Aerosoft. They kind of grudgingly said yeah, probably is that way. Fortunately the RXP GPS seems to work fine, so I bit the bullet and bought that, and here we are. Just some other things that I can talk about. I've got the Elite radios are working. There's a prepared version 4 compatible plug-in for the Elite driver, so I've got the transponder and the Navcom. Now, another thing that I've discovered, I've said in a couple of videos in the past that it would be nice if we could have the Elite radios Navcom 2 instead of Navcom 1, and I'd concluded that you couldn't do that. In fact, you can do that, and it is sent to Nav2, Com2. Now there's actually a switch on the back of that radio that will switch it between Navcom 1 and Navcom 2. In my defence, the switch is not actually on the back, it's not very obvious at all. It's not even a switch on the back, it's a micro switch on the circuit board that you have to access by poking a screwdriver through a hole. So that's great. So that radio stack is no longer redundant, and it fills a need that I don't have to fill by using a slot on the Cytec panel. So we can use the Cytec radios for other things. Now moving on, I've acquired the Cytec or the Logitech Now plug-in for prepared version 4. That sort of works with the Cytec radios. I say sort of, that's got some glitches with it. So I'm not sure about that at the moment. We head for a strip called Echo Valley, CBJ4, that's roughly the right direction. J4, enter. We'll make sure we're on GPS, go on nav hold. It's pretty much exactly the direction we're heading. And that is 80 miles away. So we're looking at some of this North Rocky Mountains terrain from Orbix, and one of the things I'm noticing, which is good, you know, an aid to realism, is in P3D we've got cloud shadows now, so it's very subtle in these conditions because we've more or less got an overcast, but we have got sunshine on these mountains over to the right, and we are getting some of that dappling, which is really the cloud shadows on the terrain. So that's pretty good, and I think once I get this, I mean the colour saturation doesn't look too bad here at the minute. Once I get that sorted out, it's going to be quite realistic, this. So we're approaching Bonners Ferry now. We're only 6 miles out, we're still at 7,500 feet, but we're going to fly overhead. We're going to take a look at the strip, see what we can see.
6-5 Sierra airport information, Papa 1510 Zulu, weather wind 196 at 3, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 12, dew point 7.
Alright, let's try and take it in from here.
9, 6,
This is really beautifully modelled. There's a lot of waterfront stuff, you know, industrial units. There's a nice bridge there. $80 knots. And land a little bit long. Well, quite a lot long actually. Let's try and make it go. Oh, there's deer on the runway. That's no good. There's another deer about to run in front of me. I think I just ran it over. Well, that's kind of cool. Alright, let's park here, that's good enough. Bonners Ferry.